Hello everyone. John CG is here. We are going to do today this simple but cute character. We are doing the cloth from Marvelous Designer. We use also ZBrush a little bit for adding thickness to our clothing. But you can use any software, it's your choice. But on this project, I will use Substance Painter for texturing and Blender for shading lighting. Note that I'm still learning Blender, so please join me as we learn together. Hope you enjoy this tutorial. Thank you, and God bless us all. Okay, here we are on Marvelous Designer. Go to File, Import, choose Alembic. Leave as default for now. Take note, this won't have a simple animation for our simulation later. Let's start creating our cloth. Go on the Polygon tool, and select Rectangle tool. Hold down your left mouse button and drag to draw your pattern. Press A to exit the Rectangle tool. And right-click and choose Symmetric Pattern with Sewing. This one we can edit on the side and the other side will follow. Let's position it to our character. While our pattern is selected, right-click, choose Copy and Ctrl-V to paste it. This pattern is for our back. Now let us position it to the right place, rotate it 180 degrees. Move a little bit close to our character. Let us now modify our pattern to make it look like a shirt. By doing so, select Add Point Split Line. You can press X on your keyboard for a shortcut. Add a point. Think about it, where your sleeve going to be. Also add a point here where the neck. And same here with the back. This will make sense later. Now, select the Edit Pattern tool. You can press Z on your keyboard. Now let us move the point. Select the Edit Curvature tool. To edit the line pattern, add curvature to this area. Same here at back pattern. At the neck. Now it's all good. Let us do the sewing. Go to your segment sewing tool. And sew the corresponding segment. On the side. On the shoulder. You notice that I get across weird sewing. It means that they are not aligned to each other. It should be like this one on the image. Now it's correct. Let's press the simulation button. Now let us make the hood. Select the Rectangle tool and create a pattern. And let's position to his head. Press Ctrl-C to copy and Ctrl-V to paste it. And position it on the back of his head. And the do sewing. Select this hood pattern and Ctrl-D to duplicate and position it. Let's do the sewing here at back. At the top, Same to his shoulder. And press now the simulation button. Let's modify the hood. Select your Edit Pattern tool, and move this point up a bit. Select our Curvature Curve tool and give some shape to it. Let's do the simulation and let's see what we got. Okay, not bad. Let's drag this one down a bit. Maybe we can modify the back pattern as well. Add some shape to it too. Let's do the simulation again. Let's try to pull it down to cover a bit of his face. Maybe we can make a bit bigger this front pattern to have more fabric in front of his face. Let us try to keep the shapes as we want it. Keep pulling things around. Now I think it's better now. I think we need to pin this area. Go and select to mesh box. And marquee select this area. Right click on and choose to create a pin. By doing this, we can pin this area while our simulation button is turned on. This is very handy because this one we place our pin where we want our garments needs to be. As you can see, we can use this pin to help us to put our garment where we want to be. And I think we need a pin also on this part. Let's do the same thing as we do. Select the mesh box tool. And marquee select on this area. Right click on and choose to create a pin. And let's place the pin where we want to be. On this case I want this pin to be here. Yeah, I think it's better now, but we can tweak it more. We can drag this one down. We can adjust the pattern maybe a little bit smaller. My goal here is to cover half of his face. Now let's do the sleeve. Select your rectangle tool, create a rectangle pattern. Rotate it, and place it over his arm. Let's make it bigger. Select your transform pattern tool and scale it. and then press the simulation button. Let's make her sleeve. It's a bit confusing at the beginning, but you'll get used to it. OK, select our free sewing tool, click on the first point, here, and you'll see the blue dots appear. Let's click that point. Just make sure not to cross the seam. Now you see, it crossed, meaning it didn't match correctly. Let's repeat again. Click here, and the blue point appears. Let's click that point to end it. And now it's okay. Let's enlarge a little this part of the sleeve. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's move a little up this part. And let's do sewing also on this part. Let us duplicate this pattern by pressing Ctrl D for shortcut. And position it. Now press the simulation button. Our sleeve is too short for now. Select our Edit Pattern tool. And let's extend this part. Oops! Not too much. Now it's okay, and play the simulation button again. And let's fix the arm area. Select all the patterns. Let's click Add button to add material. And apply to our patterns. And lower the particles distance to 10. To add more resolution to our fabric. And let's choose our fabric preset. You can play along with all the preset to see what fit to your needs. Select all the pattern again. And right-clicking and chose quadrangulate, and let's play the simulation button again to see what we get. You see it's a little bit slow now, but that is okay. Let's adjust this one to make it a little bit longer. Make this one a little bit wider. And play the simulation button again. Select all the pattern in the simulation tab, drop down lists, select UV editor and let's arrange our UV. Scale it down to fit on our one UV island. Now let's go on the animation tab. You can press the record button and let's see the animation. As you can see now, our cloth is following the movement of our character. Now go back to the simulation tab, select all the patterns, and change the particles distance to 5. Now let's do the scarf. Same as we did before. Select your rectangle tool and create your pattern. I will fast forward this time because it's the same thing that we did before. I don't want you to get bored on this. What I'm doing on here is, I just position the patterns. I press Ctrl D to duplicate it, position it close to our character. I select all the old patterns that we did, and right-clicking and select freeze. by doing this will not affect our code for simulation. Only just the scarf. Now I'm happy with this. Now let's export all our patterns. Check to select all patterns. You can tick multiple objects if want all pattern to be separated. I need to tick thin. Check unified UV coordinates. Leave them all to default. But in this case I need single object only. And thick weld also. Then press OK. What we gonna do next is to do the texture. See on part 2. God bless us all.